Alrighty, Reprise 8 Shinryu. We are going to be doing an Auron solo just because I feel like I have pulled Auron and I feel like I rarely used them. I spent a lot of resources. So I was trying to play to the lockout and I was like, you know what? Let's just do an Auron solo real quick. We are going to be using the Vanille E-Sphere. This sphere is super useful for this fight in particular. Just because the buff these guys give themselves is quite a pain in the ass for a lot of units to deal with. Like, you could bring Galoof if you want like an easier evasion tank, if you want to like do a duo. But I wanted to just do an Auron solo just because he's a unit, I haven't brought out yet. I really want to. Like, here's a good example. Mono Laser. This Bravery gen buff is actually a pain in the ass. And Auron could just handle it like, as you saw right there, no problem. We did take off speed passives and we took up the, I believe it's the Purgatory passive? One of the passives that give, high turn rate on one of his skills, on one of his base skills. I believe it was a Banishing Blade. And here we're just, I like to start with LD into free skill, and then go into EX. Like, the EX is kind of counterproductive to Auron's kit. Like, everyone's been, it's been one of his big complaints for a counter tank. Is like, hey, what the heck? Why do you have high turn rate? You're a counter tank. Stop moving so fast. Or stop delaying the enemy, like with that EX. He's actually one of the big contenders for that one skill that actually increases your LD count by 2 and just turns off your EX, because you never, like, there's no relevant buff that comes from Auron's EX anyway. So it's like you're never really going to want to press it. And here, you see examples like this guy likes to attack, buff himself, and Auron just gets rid of it, no problem. Not even an issue. We did bring a Balthier call, just because both his calls steal 3 buffs, so in case there's ever like or not the attack buff, but in case there's ever one of the buffs, the Bravery gen buff from Mono Laser, if that's up, that could be a little bit of an issue. And you see, like, it looks scary, but we could actually, once we break, we have an extra turn, and that's exactly what we want to see, because now we can just great aim. We don't take that buff for ourselves, unfortunately, but it gets rid of it, and that's important. And here we can just go for, what I'm going to do is I'm going to BT. And I'm just going to go ahead and go for a regular Auron BT phase. No charged up, changed HP attacks or anything like that. This song's a banger, by the way. Like, holy hell. That Final Fantasy X music, whew. That's some good shit right there. And I have, if you notice, I haven't pressed skill 2 yet either. And that's because that does give me a speed up buff, and I kind of want to avoid pressing that as much as I can. We will press the EX here just to give ourselves a turn to activate FR. Because we're going to want to deal as much damage as we can just so we could get the goons out. And once they're out, we can start breaking like crazy. I guess we'll just AA BT phase, in a modern DFFOO. Yeah, let's go. Where's the FR condition where when you press an AA, you get 50%? Where's that? I want to see that condition. Oh, we broke him. We took an extra turn unnecessarily there. It's not necessarily a terrible thing if the enemy gets into his FR time either, just because he does move himself up quite often. Man, look at this FR. The boys, the BT. I know I tried to get all 3 of them for one of these fights. Actually, it was this fight in particular. I brought like it's cool on the initial fight for this. I actually brought Auron, or I didn't bring Auron. Auron was already tied up on another tier. But I brought Jekt and I brought Braska, and I brought Dorgan as the 3rd. And that was just so, and him being in his FR is perfect, because now he'll just go ahead and jump up and attack us. But on this initial fight, I actually brought Jekt, Braska, and Dorgan. And Dorgan in particular because, he synergizes well with the re-break stuff, but also, he has Auron in his FR time, so that was pretty cool. I was like, alright, let's bring the boys. Beard Cutter. Nice shields, Lamau. And look at that, Auron just tearing through it. Such a beast of a unit. And here we are going to want to just use the Echo and try and get the other 2 units out as quickly as possible. It's a fairly simple solo run, but it is one of those cool ones where I get to show off the Vanille E-Sphere. This is an E-spear, you know, that pops up every now and then for certain fights, and you're like, oh yeah, do you have any vanilla E-spears? That's where it's actually pretty good. And he probably should do enough damage to bring out his friends here. The mono laser. And it looks scary, but we're gonna break, and even if we don't get the right buff, we do have VEX and we have Balthiricol. So here, that's what we're actually going to do, because get that shit off, you good sir. We don't want to deal with that. We could have also just Sword, but they do give themselves a high turn rate buff, and we don't want to get rid of that buff. At least not right away, anyway. So here we actually are going to use this. Just, you know, it's big ass HP attack button. Gear cutter. Anyway, you saw Auron, he's gonna tear through that like it's nothing. And he brings out the goons. And they act pretty fast too with that buff. Unfortunately, we are going to take it away from them, but that does still leave them with a fuck ton of turns to work with, so that's good. And unfortunately, B does still have... Or no, it's C that has it. So we will have a few turns to get rid of that. Just focus on A. Actually, it's AoE, doesn't matter. And luckily with Auron's BT effect, how it works, you know, just every time you get hit, or every time he acts on every third action of that, he gets a soar attack, which is pretty cool. Like, it stacks up. Then there'll be plenty of opportunities to, you know, we don't have to break the opponent with a buff, we just have to break in general, and that will dispel one buff. So here, like, he did Wind Slash there. And even if we didn't break because of the shield, it would have got dispelled because we broke the A in the center. So now that we got to this part of the fight, it's basically just every other solo run with the tank, you know? You just kind of take counterattacks, you do a bunch of damage off turn, you get the gauge up really high, and you win! It's one of those simple and easy. And there's an additional buff here. But luckily one break. Oh my god, he didn't break. I'm going to attack this guy just to, you know, just for safety. And you can see, even though the very end enemy didn't get broken, because this guy got broken, you know, his shield got dispelled as well. But as long as we're dispelling this brave regen right here, because it's a very awkward interaction to try and mitigate for the most part. Just because they brave gain right before the attack and not at the start of their turn. So a lot of debuffs that set their bravery to 0 don't actually mitigate the damage. So that's why it's very annoying for a lot of people to get through it. You can see they'll be taking a lot of turns, and we have 3 sword counts. We're just going to bring out the boys once. Actually, we can just now let's bring out the boys. I could just summon into changed HP, but what's the fun in that? We could have. By the way, when does the Jet F1? Holy hell! It's been how long since Jet's been on a banner? I can't even remember the last time. It might have been like a year ago, maybe over a year. I know Ultimisia just came back, and she's been MIA for a while. Where's the Ject rerun? Ouch. I do believe the HP count is 8,000, so that shouldn't be any issue. Mono laser. And the good part about mono laser is that he unbreaks himself. You know, that just leads him pretty cleanly for that. And now, the end of the fight. Easy, so easy. Nice little flex of the Vanille Sphere there. When it does come up, it's like a really good and really fun sphere to use. Auron shouldn't be super useful in any other upcoming Transcendence fights. The one I'm worried about is the one with the dark heads. I think that was like on Dark Knight Cecil's banner. And that's gonna be... We do have more tools to deal with it though. Maybe I'll just ask us through it and say, fuck this fight. It was stupid. Too many mechanics going on. But anyway, there you go. Auron solo. He's a beast. MVP.